About to go down to the creek this morning and do a little arrowhead hunting, and maybe I'll find something else with my lucky Indiana Jones archaeology hat on. So I gotta round up my dogs and see if they're ready to go. Macy, you ready? You ready to go? Ready to go find some arrowheads? All right, I got some other items I'm taking along. So I'll open up my bag and show you what else I got. Starts with my Garrett metal detectors, bag I got from them, and I'll show you the other things when I get it opened up. Just getting a little snack before we go. All right, so here's some of the other items I take along with me. I like to use this to scoop up some rocks, and as you can see, the dirt will go through it, and you just swish it around in the water. I'll show you more when I get down there. And I like to take this knife thing here. This is good for, I actually got it for metal detecting, but it works good for trying to scoop out if you want to take little scoops of the dirt and stuff. And take some gloves with me just in case. And this is my pinpointer for when I go metal detecting. I probably won't need it today, but you never know. And this right here works pretty good, of course, for scooping up dirt. And I'll take my 9mm along just in case. That is actually for my metal detector, for if I wanted to metal detect for gold, which I'm not going to do that today. It's only 8 o'clock this morning, but it's already getting humid, and I'm sure down at the creek it's going to be very humid. So I'll see you in a bit. Here we go. Usually I'll jump on the golf cart and take it down here. There's a lot of spider webs, but this is actually good exercise. So I'm just gonna take the walk. Since I was down here last, another spider web. You always wonder, where'd the spider go? Probably on my hat. So anyway, all right, I gotta get down here and clear out my path. Oh, another spider web. It's been raining a lot, which brings up another good point. When it's rained, it makes for seeing the arrowheads really good, because all the dirt gets washed off from them. And so I'll have to post a photo in here and show you a good example of that. Some dirt piles that I have, and it's like after a heavy rain, the rocks that are on the dirt piles are like on their own little pedestals, and some of them are like an inch standing proud above the dirt piles. It's pretty cool. Good morning, Mr. Frog. Ribbit. Ribbit. There you go. All right, so we're almost down there. And as I've said before, I've got on my property, I've got 900 feet of creek. One of the other trails that comes in. 900 feet long of creek, and I like to stay on my property, not to be trespassing on someone else's. Okay, so here's the creek. There's something I found while I was metal detecting about 6 months ago. Maybe I should put that somewhere. It looks like it's an old exhaust pipe from something, maybe an old tractor, but it was about a foot deep right in this area. My metal detector picked it up. As you can imagine, it was going crazy over this. Hey Charlie, glad you could join me. Where's the rest? Where's the others? Yep. All right, let's go. Dive in. Not literally, but I like to go down here to my favorite spot. And now, really, Definitely my favorite spot since I found a new arrowhead the other night when I was down here. It's really cool. I found it right over here. Let's see. It was right here on top of right on top. I figured it probably got washed down in this flat area here. So I'm just gonna start looking and scanning this little dart right now, but should be just fine. I'll show you an example of how well this thing works. I said I bought it for when I go metal detecting, or actually looking for gold, but half the time when I go looking for gold, I end up looking for arrowheads. It just kind of gets all the sifts through, pulls out the big stuff. I'd say most arrowheads would be able to find them pretty good. It wasn't a very good scoop, but you get the idea of how well that thing works. So I like to do, to start with when I come down, is just start in the creek, and I'll start downstream and walk my way up. That way you're not stirring up all the dust and the water's still clear to where you can actually see stuff. And I'm looking for points, I'm looking for different colors, anything that could jump out, kind of flake looking pieces, something with some symmetry, something that's, different shape than everything else. Sometimes if it's a piece that looks like it's a point and I pick it up, then I'll just throw it on the bank or somewhere else. That way if I decide to go through here again, like I think I missed something, I don't pick up the same piece again. Like that. And then the next thing, I'll go over to the bank, and then I'll just start scanning the bank. I'll just start going back and forth and just looking over, and then I'll scan back. Sometimes I'll bring a bucket down here and I'll sit on the bucket depending on how lazy I'm feeling, and I'll just move the bucket forward, and also depending on if I got my glasses on or if I'm wearing contacts or nothing. So I've been over these rocks probably about 5 times, I would say, but then the last time I was down here is where I found that woodland Dalton arrowhead just sitting right over here on top. So you never know what's gonna wash up or come from the flats down to this area. Walking along in this area, the other thing you want to look for, a lot of times you can find pieces of pottery. So I was looking at this and I was like, that looks like, it's probably just a rock, but you never know. I have found pieces of pottery down here before. Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. A rock, I guess. It's just different looking than what I've seen the rest of the pieces. So another thing I like to look for is areas where there's a feeder. That would sound like a frog, I guess. But mosquitoes are starting to come out now. But like, I know that there's a feeder creek over this way that dries up. All right. Charlie, what is that? Oh, it's a big frog, just took a splash. Charlie's on it. So this looks like a good area. I'm gonna start scanning through here, see if I can find anything. So I want to explain what I meant by going to where the feeder creeks are. So basically that's like if you have a little channel that's dug out and it's where that channel dumps into the creek. You figure if you've had at least 10,000 years of arrowheads laying in fields, over time they're going to wash down to certain areas. You know, even like right here where there's a little bit of water run off. You know, you might get lucky and find something. Doesn't look like there's a lot of rocks and stuff in there. If I had a shovel, I might would dig right there. But I think that those are the best places to find arrowheads. Also, places in these bars, obviously, where there's a lot of rocks and where the stuff collects. Water level's up pretty good right now, so it's going to be hard to search in those areas, or in the areas where there's deeper water. But I'll come back down here when it dries out a little bit, and I'll guarantee you I'll find more arrowheads. What I need to do is come down here with a shovel where I found that last point and bring my screens and just start sifting through all this stuff. Because you figure over thousands of years, you know, 10, 14,000 years, all the stuff, some of the older stuff is probably settled down deeper than the stuff that was on top. Because that last one I found was a woodland period point, which is more recent. And it's still 1,000 to 2,000 years old. And another thing you can do is bring a rake. When you got places, let's say the water level's lower than this now and it's running slower, and the dust is settled on top of the rocks, you can just take a rake and just scrape the whole area, and that'll kind of help uncover the rocks. And then the dust, I call it dust, but it's kind of what it looks like. The smaller sediment, the sand and all that will just kind of wash away with the current.